Yo, what up everybody? It's Slummy here, coming at you with my weekly video for Elder Scrolls Online. Today I'm going to go over my top tips to becoming a master crafter and maxing out skill lines for blacksmithing, woodworking, and clothing in Elder Scrolls Online. Again, this is just my personal preference, the easiest way I've found to max out these skill lines. So with that being said, let's get started. To get started, it's very easy. Once you're in your main alliance hub, you could go ahead and get the certification quest, which is located by a person outside the Fighters Guild. Or you could skip this quest altogether, just go right to a crafting station. And once you activate the crafting station and start crafting, it's going to unlock the skill line. Just make sure, regardless of the path you take, that you go to all three woodworking, clothing, and blacksmithing stations to unlock each skill line, because you are going to need to pump skills into each area. The absolute most important thing to do when you want to become a master crafter is start researching traits. Literally do this immediately. This is the most time consuming thing in the game. It could take up to half a year to research everything, if not longer. So make sure you immediately start researching those traits. The one thing to consider is you can only research one trait per item at a time. You start out with one researching slot, but as you level up your skill line, you could put skill points and have up to 3 researching spots. But just again, one more time, remember that you can only research one trait at a time per item. So if you have a dagger with 3 researchable traits, you can only research one of those traits, and then once the timer runs out, you could research another trait. So a way to decrease the search times is, for woodworking, put skill points into carpentry. For blacksmithing, put skill points into metallurgy. And then for clothing, put skill points into stitching. So again, start this immediately. Alright, this next part we're going to focus on the actual skill line itself and the best way to get level 50 on these skill lines. This is where we're going to differ a little bit from a lot of other YouTube videos. A lot of videos out there say steal a bunch of items, deconstruct it, but this is not an effective way to increase your skill line, as you get minimum XP for doing this. What I would recommend is stealing objects is really good for getting crafting materials that you could either sell on the guild trader or craft other items. But the best way to go about maxing out the skill line is deconstructing high value gear. So from level 1 to 50 throughout the world, as you're getting skill points to pump into these skill lines, you're going to be obtaining armor, whether it's green armor, just the basic armor, or blue and purple. The higher value the armor you deconstruct, the greater amount of points you get in your skill line. So what I highly recommend is deconstructing all green, blue, and then eventually when you start getting purple, just deconstruct them, as long as you don't need the armor sets for any reason, which level 1 through 50 you're not really going to need. So again, go out in the world, get some green, blue, and purple armor, deconstruct it, and your skill line is going to jump up really fast. If you have other characters and you're kind of like me and hoarded armor, deconstruct the armor you're not using. Again, the higher the value and the higher the level, the more points you're going to get for deconstructing it into your skill line. We all knew this part was coming, but now I'm going to talk about grinding and farming for materials. One thing I want to stress is when you're grinding for materials for crafting, do not refine them until you max out certain skills with the crafting passives, and I'll go through that in my next section. But the best thing to do here, I found, is to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Yes, you need crafting materials, but you also need skill points. So start killing everything to get XP to level up your character, to get skill points to put into the skill lines. But you also have a chance to get gear drops as well. As you can see in the montage I played over this, I'm mining for materials, but I'm also killing a lot of things. Hopefully you get a lot of green and blue gear, and maybe even purple. And once your inventory fills up, go back to a crafting station and start deconstructing it. You're going to find that your skill line is going to jump up relatively quickly. So make sure you do this. Again, look for sky shards while you're doing this. But I'll go over all the skill points in the next section to help you farm for crafting materials. Also, while you're out farming for materials and you're out in the world, make sure you pay attention for treasure chests. This is another great way to obtain high value gear that you can deconstruct, which will increase your skill line for crafting a lot faster. Okay, this next part I'll try to go through as quick as possible, but I'm going to go over the passives for crafting and what you need maxed out. The reason I stress not to refine any materials until you hit max level is because you want the passives, metal extraction, and the equivalent passives for woodworking and clothing. By having these passives maxed out, it allows you a better chance to get gold crafting materials, tempers, resins, and tenons. If you don't have this maxed out, then you're basically refining materials and you're not really giving yourself a chance to get those gold items, and it does take quite a few gold crafting materials to upgrade your armor to a gold quality piece. For an example, for blacksmithing, it takes 8 resin just to get one piece of gear up to a gold level. So wait till this is maxed out before you start refining things. But you want metalworking maxed out. Keen eye, it's up to you. I only put 1 skill into this because it highlights crafting things throughout the world. I can see this pretty good, but if you need 2 or 3 on there, go for it. You want the minor hireling maxed out for all 3 woodworking, blacksmithing, and clothing, because this is basically free materials that you'll get every single day, and you do have a chance to get some pretty decent materials. Metal extraction due to refining, metallurgy to reduce your research time to be no more than 30 days, and it allows you to research up to 3 items, and temper expertise, which doubles your chances of improve items with temper. Again, you always want to go 100% when you're upgrading your items. I have done it to where I put 7 out of the 8 stuff, and it was like an 80% or 90% chance, and I still did not upgrade it, and my material got deconstructed. Clothing, the same thing. You want to max out tailoring. Keen eye, again, it's up to you. I only put 1, but this highlights clothing resources out in the world. You want hireling maxed out to get the free resources. Unraveling to maximize your chances at tenons when you refine raw materials. You want stitching maxed out to reduce research times. And tannin expertise, same thing, to upgrade your gear. I believe it's 8 tenon as well. Woodworking, same thing. Woodworking maxed out. Keen eye, up to you. Lumberjack hireling, you want it maxed out for free materials. Wood extraction, same thing, to refine materials to get a better chance at resins, which is gold crafting materials. Carpentry to max out your research time to 30 days and reduces the research time by 25%. And resin expertise, so when you're upgrading your gear. So yeah, these are the skills that you must have. If you want to go back later on, if you've researched everything and they're all 100% researched, all 9 trades for each item, you can take just respec your character and take the skill points out of carpentry, because obviously you're not going to need it anymore because there's nothing left for you to research. Once you have the ability to do so, to do the crafting dailies. By doing the crafting dailies, it gives you a chance to, 1, earn experience points that go to your skill lines, plus you get experience points for crafting the items that are needed to complete the dailies. You can also get crafting surveys, which is a map showing you a little space out in one of the zones where you can farm a whole bunch of crafting materials. And you also have a chance to get rare crafting materials to help level up your armor once your crafting abilities get maxed out. Video, you are well on your way to becoming a level 50 crafter. Again, this is just my personal way, the way I was able to get these skill lines maxed out the fastest. If you have a better way, please make sure to post a comment below. Also, please like and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to do a more advanced guide on crafting coming up shortly. It's going to go over crafting stations, crafting rare gear, motifs, etc. So again, thank you all for tuning into the video. Have a great day.